My name's Edward Vipond. I'm Farms Manager for Troston Farms in Suffolk, and I've been here 5 years, and we farm about 1,500 hectares spread over about 25 miles with some fairly major soil type changes. From heavy clay where we are stood today to Breckland sand, and we'll grow a range of crops that are as varied as the range of soil types. Anything from forage maize, forage rye, sugar beet, potatoes, onions, beans we're stood in, and a fair slice of wheat. Blackgrass has been with me unfortunately for far too long. I arrived here 5 years ago to find a fairly healthy population, and the population hasn't, in the first couple of years, hadn't really reduced. I've had to be more radical with what I do. First couple of years we tried some other things to control it. We had a forage rye crop, trying to take the seed off the field rather than letting it reseed onto the ground. That partially worked but partially didn't. And then spring beans were another option, but clearly spring beans, what I'm looking at, is only part of a solution. You do dent the seed return population, but you don't eliminate it, as this is proof of the pudding. I did look at soya, and I'm still looking at soya, to try and have that later drilling to get as many applications of glyphosate as we can, to limit that sort of, or get that chit and limit the seed return, limit the plant growth. Possibly we need to be even more radical. I may have a grass lay in here in the future. The field behind me, you can see a lovely bean crop in the distance, but last year there was a rather large sprayed off section, and that was a bit of a turning point. I've never ever sprayed a crop off of wheat in my life, and okay, admittedly only part field, but I feel it was a bit of a failure on my behalf, not getting things right. But I think we've all got one of those fields on our farm somewhere, and I suppose that was the big thing for me, that step I had to take to spray it off. Having spent money on seed, on a certain amount of fertiliser, I probably didn't spray it off early enough, but I did spray it off in the end, and I could see it to a line from that point on. After the crop was harvested and we were waiting for the chit of blackgrass, it simply didn't occur where I'd sprayed it off. So that was the proof to me that actually be a bit more brave in the future. Spray it off, or pull it, or rogue it, or do something, but don't just, it'll be all right, we'll wait till next year, because next year comes and you've got a whole problem to deal with. I am on a journey. That journey is, we're at step probably 2 or 3 out of several, 20 or 30 steps, and that's going to be an evolving process. You know, if we lose more product to control this bad weed, then that will make it even more difficult. We might take a few backward steps, but at the minute we're on a journey that will take several years to achieve.
BASF. We create chemistry.